Skin Phantom of the Opera will pull up every now and again. I got DPJR. Listen, I'm surprised DPJR joined us since he got a promotion. I thought he would be too good to pull up. I thought he'd be smelling himself. I thought because he didn't got to come up, he wouldn't make the show. Shit.
Money. Give it to me.
The boy then came up. Now listen, the chef will be with us momentarily, but this is the perfect time to have everybody that likes to chat it up, like to weasel in, funnel in, gather around, hear ye.
One beer.
JMC popped one for the working man.
Canada Dry.
Canada Dry. Get it a try. But listen, welcome.
Ginger ale.
Welcome to the show as we wait to the chef to get situated. Much to talk about, much to discuss, much going on in the world of professional wrestling. As per usual, there's one of the reasons why we all love it so much, because it always seems to be something going on. It always seems to be a buzz, always seems to be a controversy. It always seems to be something in the dirt sheet. Shout out to Dylan Matthews. What's going on, land?
Aussie.
Oi. With that being said, you fine, beautiful people. Talk to me real quick, fellas. How you feeling? How you living, DPJ? I was good.
Man, like you said, we trying to do it big, especially on this show. Doesn't matter what the promotion, we giving that fire anytime we pull up. Regardless of the weather, regardless how we feel, doesn't matter what the people want, we gonna give them what they need. You hear me? That's where we at. And we stand on business on this show.
Ooh.
Quit copying us.
JOC, what's on your mind, daddy?
At what point, whether it's wrestling, pop culture, television, Netflix, whatever medium you have, at what point does nostalgia become a dangerous place to rest on your laurels and it becomes a little bit too much? Because
you're going there already, huh?
We're just funneling in right now, DP. Congratulations, my friend, on the promotion.
Appreciate you. My boys, brothers. Thank you.
But I just watched the newest Ghostbusters movie. It was fun, and at the end of the day, that's all I care about from a Ghostbusters movie. But I'm like, at what point is it just a little bit too tedious to rely on things of yesteryear, unless they serve the narrative and there's a reason for them to be there? I feel that way about professional wrestling in a lot of ways, and I love to see a legend pop up every now and then, but if they don't serve a purpose, it's nostalgia for nostalgia's sake, and it can really take me out of a narrative. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Nostalgia is a very powerful thing. Nostalgia is a very powerful drug. There literally is scientific proof backing up why nostalgia resonates with us, because it connects to something from our youth and something from our childhood. Like right now, they put the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on. I'm down. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that's nostalgia. Whatever is connected to your youth, you tend to still love, and it's hard to shake and it's hard to break. So if you're tugging at the nostalgia strings for people, especially our age, you know exactly what you need to do. I don't know if you agree with that, DP, or not.
Yeah. Nostalgia is a very, very, very powerful thing, and as society, we need to make sure we stay creative and stay moving forward, because if we depend on the past, will be a thing of the past. Remember that. That I'm trying to tell you. You got to remember that. I say it again for the people who ain't hear me. If you stay in the past, it will be a thing of the past. There's a reason things become extinct, because they don't evolve. You have to continue to evolve. So you have to continue to build new things, build shiny new things, i.e. a Tiffy time, i.e. hopefully a Carmelo Hayes. What they're trying to do with Braun Breaker, even though I don't give a damn what he does, they can make a good promo. But hey, they're trying. But if they continue to rely on individuals like The Rock, like for instance, it's going to be awesome if they bring back certain individuals, as I'm sure we're going to talk about, who ended up on a trailer. Segue, but if you continue to rely on people over 45, what are you doing? Like, that's in both companies. If you take a look at the roster and you look at when it's big boy time and they put their pants on, who's trying to come out of retirement, who's trying to show up. I mean, Steve Austin, 60 years old. The Rock's about to be 52 years old. Sting was 63 years old. That's a combined age almost 200. It's wild. Like Rock was whooping Cody ass with tight hips last night. He didn't get loose like he was back in the day.
Oh, hell no. Wait a minute. See, I wasn't even going to put this in the podcast. This was for the chat on the live, but you going to start.
No, I mean.
You know, hell no. No, you ain't going to come on here and start slandering The Rock's hips. I was going to literally do like a restart for the podcast ears, but the podcast people got to hear this. You just came at The Rock's hips.
Hey, man, it was cold outside, man. It was 40 degrees. And it was wet outside.
Oh, hell no.
Hey, they weren't as loose as, hey, he wasn't running. He was walking, not too brisk. How about that?
Oh, hell no.
There will be no slander against the people's hip flexors.
There will be no people hip flexors slandered up in the air. Listen, this is, I don't even know. See, I was going to start this show, but I got to put this in like it's the start, because that was too disrespectful for me not putting in this podcast. You ain't getting away with no edit. That's going in. Listen, I'm going to let the people in the streets, that's going in. What you mean? Listen.
Outside, it wasn't like it was 80 degrees. That boy was moving. Oh,
yo, listen, first of all, to the left or the right. Officially welcome to the podcast. Dylan Matthews said, after last night, we need Cody to start his next promo with his normal suit. Then by the end, his tie, jacket, and shirt is gone. Dylan Matthews, DPJR versus Dwayne's hip flexors, WrestleMania 40. Oh, I'm down for that match. Real talk. But real talk, check it out, though.
Trying to get paid.
The reason we going to start off by talk about I guess we going to talk about how Raw ended, and I'll work backwards. But listen, here's my issue with what happened last night. Not the aesthetic, not the moment, is that got go home WrestleMania energy all day long. How does Cody bounce back from that without it looking real phony? That's my issue. My issue is he beat the brakes off of Cody. We're talking about when someone gets beat like that, they're out for like months, to go on vacation. You know what I'm trying to talk about? They kayfabe or put on the sideline, and in real life to go on a vacation. My question, I'll kick it to JMC. Jay, that got go home energy, right? So how does Cody make Friday? How does he make next Monday? What I'm trying to say is it was too close to WrestleMania, and it wasn't the go home show to WrestleMania. It looked cool, but what do they do now?
It was highly entertaining. It was a bit of a spectacle. The visuals were great. A very memorable ending. Some are calling it the best Raw ever.
We'll unpack that later.
We sure will. Some were calling it the best in decades. Yes, it was entertaining. It was a great moment. And I don't think it had go home vibes written all over it. There's a lot of things you could do. I felt that, Evan, you and I talked about this as it was happening. I felt like the only way you top that, and maybe you have Cody nursing an injury all the way through night 1 and night 2, adding to the story, the wounded warrior. Maybe you do that. But as far as the visuals for a go home, that looked like a killing off of a character. It looked like he's going back to AEW, so let's literally kill off this character on camera. And I know this isn't the question you asked, and I don't mean to divert it at all, but I think without a visual of Roman Reigns on the show having something to do with that, getting involved with that, being the catalyst behind that, just felt like such a missed opportunity, which there's been many. And I don't want to be critical because it was an entertaining program almost from start to finish, but I don't know that you do top that unless you have the babyface going into Mania on the go-home show on top rarely works, and I don't think that's what they're going to do. So I don't know how they top that other than having Roman and The Rock both do it, but Roman really feels like an afterthought to me now. That's what I was left with.
Oh, really? Interesting. Chef, what say you, brother?
Man, it's hard to really, like, how does he prosper in this? Like, because you get the surprise run in, right? So it was not announced that he was going to be there. So The Rock shows up, whispers in the man's ear, whispers the sweet nothings, I'm going to make you bleed, and then he followed up on his word, you know what I mean? So, like, you already have them supposed to be there next Monday, the both of them. So he's just going to continue to catch L's until he finally wins on Saturday. There's no other really way to kind of counteract that. He's at the point where, you know, everything that they said is now happening. He took off the belt. You know, it said Mama Rhodes on the belt. You know, the whole bleeding. He doubled down on cursing, right? He, you know, did everything that he said he was going to do, and kind of took little jabs at the people complaining about The Rock getting the preferential treatment, and, you know, the things we've talked about. You know, is he controlling the narrative of this story more than the people who the story is about? Which I'm not getting off of that. It really still looks like he's in control of this whole story. And, you know, from here on out, it's The Rock is going to be over this dude's shoulder like daddy's home. Like, for real, for real. Like, no matter what you think you're about to do, Cody, I'm that dude who's going to be constantly having my foot in your ass. Period.
Chef, did you feel like The Rock did that, called a bit of an audible? Maybe that was the go home plan. Maybe they had a surprise promo off, which is what I really wanted. Something like that to go home, drag and drop it a week or two from last night. I think it works. But do you feel like The Rock, as we know he pays attention to everything on social media, did you feel like he said, okay, they're saying I've really done nothing that's hateable or dastardly yet, so let me just move this payoff to get blood on this belt to now, so they're really going to actually hate me because they're saying I'm not heel enough?
Yes, I would completely agree with that. He was not heelish yet. He was saying heel things and cursing, but it was not with menace yet, right? So he had to do something menacing to have that character be completely different than the, well, I'm being a dick, but you guys are still chanting Rocky. I'm really going to be a heel, and I'm really going to beat on this man and do what he's supposed to do. And that part for me was the most gratifying, was that he fully went heel. He wasn't half-assing it. He wasn't in the ring, you know, like he was in Memphis, where he was pretty much, you know, it was a go home story for that. So he wasn't really a heel that day. He was just home in Memphis. So he did regular Rock stuff. This was boss Rock, if you will.
DPJR, what say you?
I thought it was a hell of a end into a Raw. I mean, I don't know how you top that. I do not know how you top that again, because, like, there's blood. I mean, and you can't really have Cody get his comeuppance yet, because what's the point of a baby face if he gets his comeuppance before, if a Rock doesn't get his comeuppance before WrestleMania? It wouldn't work. As a baby face, you have to have that moment. So he needs to get his ass whooped again. I'm talking about like whoop, like everybody in the bloodline whoops his ass. And nobody really on this show is talking about the individual who could turn on Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, who keeps, like, I mean, Jey Uso is the reason Cody Rhodes got his ass whooped backstage, because it's mighty convenient. Jey Uso brings him backstage and The Rock is just waiting.
He wasn't the only one.
You know what I mean? They're planting seeds everywhere, and they're starting to water them. And there's like my big problem with last night is Roman Reigns wasn't there.
Come on, all right. Let's get down to brass tacks. All you fellas said fantastic things.
Dude, but
you guys said fantastic stuff. Shout out to Nate for pulling up. He says Attitude Era 2.0. Dylan Matthews, Cody's come up as will be winning night 2. Listen. What the hell is going on, man? Why is The Rock messing with Cody? It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, guys. You can't. And here go people talking about they setting up SummerSlam. I ain't even at WrestleMania yet. I don't give a damn about SummerSlam. Why are people booking shows that ain't happened yet? We're on the road to WrestleMania. If you're trying to tell me you're setting up Cody and The Rock or Roman and The Rock at SummerSlam, that's cute, but that's August. I'm talking about what are they doing right now to sell the story of WrestleMania 40. Every single week, it's Cody and The Rock. That's not the match. Just because I liked the cool ending doesn't mean we have to stay focused here. That's misdirection. This is great magic tricks by World Wrestling Entertainment. It was cool to see. It was cool to see Rock beat the brakes off of Cody, but where the hell is the tribal chief? They're trying to act like they're purposely doing this. Everyone's making excuses why Roman's not there. They're never going to convince me that this ain't The Rock trying to overshadow this man. I'm sorry. This is weird, man, because we can talk about cousins all they want. They ain't tight like that.
Their body language doesn't even radiate that they really like each other.
Exactly. So you can tell, and let's be real. I got cousins I don't like. Like, we got to stop acting like because they're blood, that they're cool. This is weird, man. This is weird. The biggest issue I have is Roman looks like a punk right now, man. What the hell is going on, man?
I'll take it a step further and say he doesn't even look like a punk because he's almost like irrelevant, which is arguably worse.
Oh.
I don't even feel like he needs to be there anymore.
Oh no! Listen, the way this is looking, why does Roman need to be there? Why? Why?
At Mania as well. And this isn't Unforgiven or Great Balls of Fire. This isn't the one you gloss over. If you're going to gloss over one.
I was just watching a promo. I was just watching a promo from Roman Reigns when he was the big dog and he was talking the exact same shit about Brock Lesnar, about how Brock Lesnar didn't pull up to a Raw before a WrestleMania, about how the WrestleMania is this big event and how can you as a Universal Champion not pull up to a WrestleMania, and I'll be damned if not 8 years later, you have Roman Reigns not showing up to one of the biggest Raws in WWE history, and he has his cousin, the High Chief, don't forget that, the High Chief, Dwayne Johnson, out here putting on shows, reminding people just exactly who and what the fuck he is.
I forgot. This is ego. This is ego. You ain't wrong, DP. DP, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Listen. There, Roman Reigns this is weird, man. This dude has access to a private jet. He got this dude ain't hurt. You can't hurt that some more. Leukemia can't take this man out. He ain't hurt.
Everybody on the bloodline was there but him.
Thank you. This is weird. This man has access to a private jet. This dude could be anywhere in the United States in a quarter of the time. What the hell we talking
I don't get it. I don't
Do
get
people
it.
have any idea that
private jets are faster
than commercial jets? I don't know if people know this. They're faster. They're way faster. I'm talking about he can be from Florida to Chicago in less than 90 minutes.
And Paul Heyman was there. Why is Paul Heyman there and you're not there? And then you got The Rock out here calling shots, and you were bitching and moaning about your other cousins calling shots. And now you got this dude out here telling you what to do. What are you doing?
Jimmy couldn't call the plays. Remember, Jimmy couldn't call the plays. He said he was
quarterback.
You ain't the quarterback.
Call no audibles. What are you doing? I'm the quarterback. And now you on the bench. You Mark Bolger, you Joe Flacco, you riding the pine for this man? Come on, man.
And it's another thing I'm gonna say. Who the hell told you the final boss? What? I love The Rock, man, and ain't nobody gonna tell me I don't love The Rock. But something my daddy always say, if something's wrong, something's wrong. And everyone's like, they're swerving us. They ain't swerving me. Of course he's turning on Roman. This ain't no swerve. That's easy. What I'm trying to say is the final boss with that terrible shirt someone drew up that somebody made on Canva. Like
you can't do a swerve though if you don't have the moments where they're actually intertwined in the first place, which they never really were. And you can always say there was that dissension from the beginning, but in 2 seconds you can rectify a lot of this. It's cheap, but you can have Paul Heyman say, after The Rock beats his ass, you pan over, Paul Heyman says, call Roman Reigns and say, it's done. And that's it. In 2 seconds. Like Roman orchestrated it, or like Roman had something to do with it, or he even gives a shit. And a lot of this is on Rock, but a lot of it has to be on Roman too, because wasn't he in a position for years to say, no, we're doing it this way? Evan, you have the gospel from Paul Heyman's mouth that says we are in charge of our storyline. I'm sorry.
Guarantee you. Don't let the dirt sheets won't tell you this. All these sucker MCs out here leaking fake information from fake sources. I'm telling you right now for a fact, as God is my witness, all my life, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns came up with this whole thing you're watching. All this bloodline stuff is from the mind of Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. What I'm trying to say is that is exactly why. That is exactly why I say this is some rock bull jive right here. This is weird, man. This is weird, man.
It's bizarre.
It's bizarre. It's so weird because I'm like, let me tell you how I know it's weird. He is calling himself the final boss.
Like he and Bison.
Before, yeah. First of all, we ain't going to Thailand yet. For some reason, two of the brothers live in Thailand. Scott and Bison living both in Thailand. That always pissed me off when I was a kid. Pick another country. So God, you can't be from Thailand and then I take a short flight over to the other Thailand to fight M. Bison. That's neither here nor there. I'm not here to criticize Street Fighter.
Thailand.
I'm like, it goes, and then it goes back and it just stays there. The plane don't move. I go, oh hell no. No, I've been flying all around this bitch. Listen, USSR. But anyway, listen to your boy. You know this is some rock bullshit for real because he's calling himself the final boss way before the Roman and him match. That's when you start selling the final boss merch. He's calling himself the final boss and he's in a tag match at WrestleMania. Bruh, this dude is crazy. Listen, Dwayne, you are out of your damn mind, dude. You are out of your damn mind. Yo, listen, Ralph said, Evan, so you're saying Rock got a Temu Versace shirt? Oh, I would never say that, Ralph. Don't you dare come on this podcast and think I'm gonna slander that man's fit. Don't be disrespectful.
No, that's strictly talking about the WWE shop gear. We ain't talking about the Versace vest. No.
Oh no. That Versace vest costs more than everything in my closet. Real talk. But Samoan Watchman saying he's the final boss is saying to Roman to sit your pretty ass down and hold my Red Bull. Absolutely right, Samoan Watchman, the only tribal chief I acknowledge on this show because he pulls up. Listen,
Samoan Watchman, you got to say Zoa right there, though, brother. You have to. Well done, otherwise.
Very tasty too.
That's how you know that Zoa's poop. No, listen. Listen. I think y'all know what I'm getting at right now. I think y'all know what I'm getting at. This can't be Roman Reigns creative because I would almost be okay with all this Cody Rhodes back and forth stuff if he didn't do the final boss stuff. What? Guys, explain that to me. Can anybody explain the final boss stuff way before? Rock, I got to make sure your ass can get through this tag match. I need to make sure you can get through this.
Bringing up all shit again, Evan. Man,
well, it's not even that.
You talking about making it to WrestleMania 41. We don't even know we get to a damn tag match.
It's not even that. It's the fact that he's calling himself the final boss, but double negative himself in a way because you acknowledged Roman Reigns as your tribal chief, but you out here calling yourself the final boss. That doesn't make sense in and of itself, right? So what are you saying?
All right.
You kind of acknowledge who he is, but in the end, you're over him. You're more important to him. You're the end game, if you will, and he's just the Age of Ultron. Like, what are you saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's too soon, right? You can't. That's
way too soon.
To that point, Chef, I was going to say, did anyone else think when he had him up against the side of the bus, just the size of The Rock's body and persona and star power looked like Thanos compared to Peter Parker? Like,
but here goes the thing.
But I can't talk about his hips, though.
I meant The Rock just looked like he would.
We're talking about his knees, but I can't talk about his hips. Damn. All right. Shout out to Samoan Watchman.
Listen, man. Samoan Watchman is not a part of this illustrious panel, so he is allowed to go into business for himself.
Hey, that comment made it right across the screen, Daddy.
Because I thought it was funny. That was funny. I'm not gonna let you come on here as a member of this panel.
Can't loosen up. That's all I said. That's it.
No, you did not say that. You did not say that.
He had tight hips. Them hips was tight, daddy. Woo!
Hey, but the last thing I want to say though, to Evan's point about it not being, Roman's finest work, the fact that they had that promo on Friday, and then you follow it up with this on Monday, where The Rock didn't say a word, and it was a better promo segment with him and Cody than The Rock and Cody on Friday, or then Roman and Cody on Friday, with all the hijinks and all the people coming out.
Yeah, Chef. See right there. See this because y'all know I'm on here. I'll be trying to entertain people. So I'm having a ball right now. But let me get for real. Let me get down to brass tacks. What Chef just said is this is my issue right here. That's my point. My point is I've seen enough of Roman Reigns over the years. I think I can comfortably say, without knowing the inside scoop, that Rock's going into business for himself, man. This is weird, man. This is super strange. You know how I know? Because Roman's off his game.
We came on here so he was gonna cook that man on Friday.
And exactly. Let's be real. Let's hold accountability. Let's be accountable for what we said. You see, you know how hyped we were? We were like, "Yo, Roman is going to tear this dude apart," and he was a shell of himself. I think they got my man all over the place. This ain't the Roman. The Roman Reigns cut a better promo off camera into the steady cam that the mic barely picked up better than anything anyone's ever cut in AEW since MJF left. And can't nobody tell me otherwise. I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of it. That promo is better than anything anyone's ever said in AEW besides MJF, and as God is my witness. So what I'm trying to say is that Roman Reigns ain't just disappear. Something's weird, man. Something's weird. He got access to a private jet night at the Raw in Chicago. What are we doing?
PW just said it best. PW just said it best. His line to him was he called him stupid. Are we in second grade? We on the playground and ooh, yo mama. Like that's what he said.
Listen, Sean Bright said The Rock is setting himself up until WrestleMania 40, Rock versus Roman Reigns. Yeah, see, the thing, Sean Bright, I said that earlier. I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but I go, we ain't at WrestleMania yet.
The long way away.
I don't want your set up to SummerSlam. I don't want that yet. I want us to get through 40, and then we can talk. And then people talking about this is the setup to 41. 41, damn! By 41, I'll be 41. Real talk.
So in Act One of the event, in Act One of Iron Man, when Tony Stark's just getting back out of the desert, if all of a sudden they showed the post-credit scene, you'd be like, what's going on?
Exactly right.
And you wouldn't accept it because you'd be like, this makes no damn sense. And that's if that's what they're doing, I think The Rock is like, how can I be the most entertaining version of myself this week?
I'll go a step further. I want him to be. He wants everyone to be like. He goes, y'all think Roman Reigns is the tribal chief? He's like, please. And I'm like, listen, listen. The Rock is The Rock. We don't. Everybody on this panel. How many times we got to get to do this flowers? How many bouquets from FTD must we give Dwayne Johnson? How many edible arrangements must we send to his doorstep? How many lays must we put on Maui? We have given him as much love. We all have rocked his shirt. We understand what he represents. I just think we're all in agreement. We're like, not at the expense of what this man has built for 4 years, man. Ever since he speared the late, great Bray Wyatt. Something is weird. I think that's all we're saying. It's a little strange.
Did you guys see the Pat McAfee stuff on Friday?
We did, and I thought Roman was a little tame. Because listen, the one thing I love about Roman, the reason why I love him, because I love superstars that can act. Like and you already know how I feel. I think Roman Reigns is the best wrestling actor in wrestling in history over everybody. I think he's that compelling. Because if you see him on Pat McAfee, that's really Roman. He's a chill, like Pacific Islander cat.
Like family, like a genuinely good guy.
He's just a genuinely good guy. And I kind of like that he was able to relax. That's why when Pat was doing Pat stuff, he was kind of like, oh, okay, bro, calm down, because he's there to promote. But when he switched it on a little bit, I was like, I wasn't feeling it, man. I was like.
And it was still better than what he's doing on TV, which I think Chef is saying.
That was my point. It was still better than what he did that night.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't think he knows what direction to go in.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying, Jay. I go, he was on the stage on that Friday like he don't know what they're doing.
For the first time in a long time. So can we forgive it if night 2 Roman loses and the bloodline surrounds him in support, and all of a sudden Rock starts beating the shit out of Roman and he loses his mind. He's like, "You were never the fucking tribal chief." Like, and then Roman takes 3 months off, comes back as probably a babyface because distance can make the heart grow fonder, 6 months, whatever, assuming The Rock. We know he's doing a movie afterwards too. So again, they're putting the cart before the horse in so many different ways. Like, there's ways to rectify this, and The Rock is extremely entertaining, and I will say maybe better than ever if we're just talking about a week by week segment of what's entertaining and fun to look at. But like, that's like saying like a Michael Bay movie is the greatest movie of all time because the special effects are awesome. Like, if it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't matter. We know he's leaving for a movie. We know they're setting stuff up. We always knew that was the case, but we have a lot of meat on this bone that we built up for 4 years to serve one man's ego. And this is the first show in a while I haven't worn a Rock shirt. Like, I ate crow when I said he wasn't who he used to be. He's super entertaining, but now he's at a point where he's literally bulletproof, could lose 20 matches in a row and it wouldn't matter because he can get the crowd back with one match, and he can elevate everybody. You could still argue that just him being on a show with more eyeballs on it still does elevate people, but it just, to Evan's point again, the point of all points today is this is just weird. It's so weird.
That's all I'm saying. Now, if we listen, you know what I want. Y'all know, give me what I want. You know what I want. I want Rock Roman. That's all I want. So, shout out to Shimon Washman for the super chat, man. I appreciate you, brother. You know I do, man. You know I do. It helps the show grow. Listen, but the thing about what I'm saying here, let me put that up there for real. The thing about what I'm saying, guys, like listen, look, part of it's tongue in cheek. Part of it's tongue in cheek, but part of it's real, guys. You know where I'm at with this. It's as long as we get Rock Roman, then maybe I'll get Cody out the damn way so I can get that Roman that we all know and love. Because that's with all due respect to The Rock, I will put this out there. When we do get that match, that's where Rock was going to be in a little bit of trouble. Roman's going to cook Rock. He will. The Rock is able to mess with the baby face, and you beat the baby face up, and the baby face can look like he can persevere. That gives you a lot of meat on your bones. But when he has to go toe to toe with that young man, the Roman Reigns should be in his bag. He should be in his bag, and he should give us he should make up for all of this. And all I want, guys, I don't ask for much. I just want a really dope Roman promo on Friday before WrestleMania. That's guys, that's all I want, guys. WrestleMania ain't it next week?
Is he going away too? Does he have a movie lined up, or is he taking time off? Like, normally I would say, okay, it's going to be an even bigger swerve, and Roman's going to win because this is so bizarre, but I don't feel like that at all. We know The Rock has a movie lined up after Mania. Does Roman have something that we know of? Is he injured?
I don't think he has anything lined up, but if you're going to give the title to Cody, you got to clear it out for him to give him some time to reign and have a fresh new competitor. That way you can build towards a SummerSlam.
Give him 6 months off.
You get 4 or 5, it's not that far away. It's not that far away, and it's only a couple pay-per-views, and it's a big title, and you can't just take the title away again. People get tired of it. It's more of an uproar, and not to mention Roman Reigns is stars as dim as it's been in 4 years. People don't recognize, like Evan said, people don't recognize the promos that he's cutting these days because it's not him. Ever since he came back into the Thunderdome and caused hell and rained thunder over everybody, not lightning, thunder. He had a roar going up in there, daddy. But now you look at him, it's more of a whimper. Cody Rhodes is outshining him in a promo battle. Then you have The Rock, who is having, like some people say, a midlife crisis. I'm highly entertained at him, but like JMC said, if it's a crash, sometimes crashes are entertaining, but nothing's going to happen except people are going to stop traffic and look. That's it. It's just a crash. So you got to pay attention to what's happening in front of you.
Do you guys remember when Cena literally murdered Roman Reigns twice with back-to-back promos in 2 weeks? And I was like, wow, Roman's not going to recover from that. That was before he was the tribal chief. So to Evan's point, I do think he will recover in some way, shape, or form. He's too good not to. Yeah. But it seems like
recover.
It seems like The Rock and Roman are not tight like that. There's
Friday's it for me, bro. I need Roman to pull up Friday. I need him to pull up. And to Dylan's point, this is what I'm talking about to me about Rock kind of going into business for himself. Dylan's right. It's a done deal because he said Rock said this is Cody's final chance, so he's not winning. Like that was the issue. That's my issue. Don't say those words. Those are the indicators. If you don't win, you'll never get a shot at the title again. Oh, come on. You say that in a retirement match. You can't say that during. Come on, Dwayne. Come on, man. Oh, listen. It is what it is. The tribal chief, when he falls, I just want the E to know they'll never get a run like this ever again. Because they won't be able to, because it won't be believable enough. They will never get a run of this magnitude ever. There ain't a wrestler alive. The only one not even Gunther can pull this off. He can't. Listen, so I'll put that one to bed and move on. I got to do it. Chef. Yeah, Chef, I got to do it. I got to do it, Chef. We got to talk about he who will not be named. We got to talk about old Lord Voldemort. We got to talk about filibuster. We got to talk about Phil Brooks coming out and
fill him up, Phil, huh?
Cutting the promo, cutting Drew McIntyre off so he wouldn't be able to cook him in a very cheap ploy, by the way. In typical CM Punk fashion, scared to go toe-to-toe with somebody that's on your level, so I'll cut him off while he's trying to say his stuff. I know, but let's get mad at Adam Page for going into business for himself, but I can do it anytime I want. Okay. All right. As long as I do it, it's okay. I will give Phil his credit. He got Drew McIntyre with the Vince McMahon line. Very cute. He got him. When you get him, you get him. He got him. And I'm telling you right now, I know it caught Drew off guard because Drew should have been like, that's when he should have went full AEW promo on him. That's when he should have talked about the press conference. That's when he should have talked about Jack Perry beating him up. He missed the goal. He was so shook. When he opens a door like that on live TV, Drew McIntyre, let me talk to you. I know everyone's saying you're doing the best work. I've even said you're doing your best work. When he goes into his business like that for himself, you need to go off script. Do not let that dude do that bullshit. Don't let him do that. That's my problem with Phil. Everyone always walks around like this dude's the only one that can do that. No, people just follow the rules because they get paid to follow the rules. And then he goes off script and everyone goes, ooh, like we're in freaking 10th grade. And that would have been the moment right there where I'd have hopped up off that desk, hopped into that ring because I'm 10 times the size of him, and would have cut a whole AEW promo on him. But he didn't. And he missed the moment there. And that pisses me off.
I told you my rebuttal right away to that.
Tell him, because this is what you should have done. This is what he should have done. Tell him.
What he shouldn't do.
I would say, I don't know, Phil. I would say, who finally gave you a T-shirt that said "Best in the World"? The same guy that fired you, the same guy that you talked shit on for 7 years, the same guy that built the company that you begged to come back to after you got fired from a shittier company the first time because you didn't know how to act.
That's what you should have said. That. Because since you want to bring up VKM, you want to bring up Vince. Vince is the one that let you go over on Cena.
And I'd say, the guy that I'm talking about is right in the back right now. You have anything to say to him? Or you see what I'm saying? I go, come on, man, don't let this dude do that bullshit. Seriously, you can't get cute and say, who's that guy? The guy that hired you, dummy. The guy that hired you, dum. What you mean? Punk, you wouldn't have came back if he was still the boss, then, huh? Oh, you would have, because you had no other options because you've already forced yourself out of 2 other companies with lawsuits, by the way.
Oh, I would have cut him just like, since you want to go into business, we're going to go into business.
Was he not backstage in Chicago before he came back?
And by the way, guys, Chicago with CM Punk never counts. That does not count. Oh. That is the biggest home game ever.
Disney, what up?
That stadium's a cheat code, too. It just produces noise.
It totally is. That's like putting Chef in Cleveland every night to do the show, and he's gonna have the best takes, which he might anyway. But
that's what I said. But to before I kick it to the fella,
where the glasses at?
Don't
Chef?
you start this
Baby,
bullshit.
put them on.
I didn't start.
Do not start the yeet train. Listen. But I will say this before I kick it to the fellas. The Chef DP, whoever wants to take it, I will say this: Chicago, for all y'all bluster and all y'all's little "we're the smart crowd," when Drew McIntyre was talking, y'all weren't cutting him off.
You said that on WhatsApp, Evan, and I watched it back, and he said, "Boo this man." No one said shit,
and no one said nothing. I was like, "Ooh, Drew got them in the palm of his hand, still, brother."
And you start chanting CM Punk.
Now you can chant that BS, but you know what I mean.
No, they didn't.
Exactly, but you know what I'm talking about. They were chanting CM Punk sometimes, but I'm talking about, you know what I mean. Like if you're talking your ish and they want to rattle you, they would just like what you not one time.
They wanted to hear what Drew had to say because he's fucking on fire. And
yes,
Disney,
sir.
Disney, I just did it in 2 seconds without even mentioning AEW. Drew's that good right now. He could have done that.
Oh,
yep. You don't have to mention AEW, but the way Jay did it is how you do it. Because you know what, I don't got to go into business like that, but I ain't gonna let you just slander somebody that signed your checks. Yo, right. Damn it, Samoa Watchman, I will roundhouse kick you. Go ahead, who take it away? Anybody take it away?
I said too much anyway. But look, DP, Chef, go at it.
I personally felt that promo was terrific simply because we had DM Hunk. Yeah, that's my guy. I love to do. A little bit of foreshadowing. We'll be talking about him a little bit later, so I don't want to talk about him too much right now. But last night was stellar work by the gentleman who's been doing stellar work, and I expect nothing less of him. I'm thoroughly entertained. I'm at the edge of my seat anytime I watch the Scottish Magnificent Warrior, who is a psychopath and destroying anybody that comes in his way. I'm waiting for the day him and The Rock cross path, because that'd be great. You know, because that's the type of level he is, just for the electricity, just for the oohs and the ahs of it. That's the type of level that he's on. But knowing The Rock, he tried to destroy his ass like he does everybody else these days. There's neither here nor there. But CM Punk needs to do more than just say snazzy lines to get a pop. Because that's all he does is he'll say something catchy and then like, ooh. And then after that is a whole bunch of nothing. And then the other person carries the promo, and then he'll say something else that's a cuss word, and be like, ooh. And then Drew carries the other promo. And then the magnificent, great Seth freaking Rollins comes out, and he does his thing. He threw the glasses off earlier and started cooking his ass. So I would love to ask Phil Brooks, how does it feel to get cooked by two men in live public on live television at the same damn time? The greatest
lie ever told is this dude is like the best promo ever. Lord have mercy, Chef, take it away.
If he is, everybody's leveled up and he's kind of plateaued. So even if
even
if he thinks he is, everyone's getting better. Even if he thinks he's the shit, everybody else's shit is coming up. If his pile was a certain height, everybody else has built theirs up to be on par, if not better. He's, like you said, he had very sophomorish things to say, like his comebacks were very juvenile. And you can tell that it was, not scripted, right? So they were literally, all three of them were kind of just what he got to say, and then, ooh, well, that was real tough. And
don't cut him off though, CM Punk. Don't cut him off.
Like childish again. It was just like let these guys say something and finish their thought before you just want to say nothing just to interrupt them for the sake of interrupting. Like there was no point. So I agree with DPJ. Like he got cooked by both people. I'm glad Seth is trying to get over the fact that, like Roman, he's in the middle of all these situations, whether he wanted to be or not. He's still trying to do his best with the little bit that he's given, being a side piece in all these different stories. So, shout out to my guy Seth for that. And Drew,
2 points.
Man, Drew is out here hitting half court threes like Steph Curry in warm-ups. I mean, he out in the streets of Chicago cutting promos. He went
to Mindy's Bakery.
Oh,
I didn't even know he did that.
And he knew it was closed too. He knew it was closed.
He had 2 lines last night.
Unreal.
Punk said something about him in the skirt. He said it's 2024, Mike. Don't get canceled.
He was on. He was
the
like,
other one. Oh man, what did he say? The boy said,
he said, "Don't shoot up my
you're in
skirt,
Chicago, so they probably have a weapon and I don't want to get in the ring, so you'll take me out." I'm like,
crowd booed like shit at that. They were like, "We're not all gun-toting freaks." I'm like, actually, statistically, you are.
Yeah, that was and the rehab line. I fell out my seat when
I said, bruh.
He's
PG, brother.
PG, brother.
I love and as Evan landed that illustrious interview with Drew, we know he doesn't actually like CM Punk as a person, and even he laughed at the Vince line. He took it well. He took it like a champ. He might have been caught off guard, but he was like, he let it fester. And I told Evan, I was like, dude, go back and watch that when Drew's sitting on the table and Punk keeps interrupting him. I was like, maybe that's part of the plan here. But Drew starts talking so fast. He's like, well, I got to get my shit in. But he handled it like a pro. So. Dude, he's the best right now. I mean,
dude, he is, bro. He is.
And like Chef said, you got to give it up for Seth a little bit. He's like the ultimate side piece, but like to be thrust into so many things and like he feels like a little bit of an afterthought in both. And if they like, it's too convoluted right now. Please don't have him be the one that costs Cody. That's not interesting to me right now. There's so many other ways to do that if you're going to do that. But hopefully that's a red herring. But there's like Chef said last week, there's so much stuff in the stew right now. Like you don't even know what you're tasting. So like, can we take that one off the table? No, because they planted more seeds for that last night too. So I love that they're trying things. I love that they're planting seeds. I love that they're intertwining storylines. And as I think about that, I forgot Damian Priest existed with that Money in the Bank. Wow. There's a lot going on.
Hey, yo, Damian Priest is not winning the championship. He ain't winning no championships.
What if they just like do away with that and just never ever mention it again?
No. Too good of a
advice.
Chef,
I wasn't the one that sneaked this Seth Rollins today. How about that?
Yeah, look at you. Look at
I
you.
know. He's come a long way, y'all. He's come a long.
Look at you growing up.
Listen, but that leads me to today's segment. I think it's time for a little bit of recipe. Chef's recipe, that is. And I would like to know what this man is cooking up on this podcast today.
So, if I may, my recipe actually segues very much into what we were just talking about. So, for this week's recipe, I am going to give you guys the ingredients I feel Seth Rollins needs to be relevant again.
Ooh.
Yes, because of what, JMC just alluded to with all the things that he's a part of, but not the focal point of. So for me, my recipe is going to be called Seth's Revenge. Oh. So based on everything that's happening right now, it's not looking good for your boy. I've already accepted that Drew's on a heater and Drew's going to beat him, for the title at Mania. So with that being said, it's going to be done in a way that he's going to lose his shit. Because if you guys watched Raw, did you notice who was talking to Paul Heyman? It was Drew McIntyre.
Interesting.
So Drew is going to win, but it might not be clean. And he might be using some of the goons to help him get over because he's been on this run of doing things dirty and doing whatever it takes to win. So I don't think he's going over clean, and Seth's, response is not going to be good, and he's going to almost become unhinged because my guess is night two is when he's going to wrestle. So it'll be after night one. So, the tag match will happen. They will probably win, but there's still going to be some things happening that, we're going to wonder what Seth's real intentions with Cody. So when Cody wins on night two, as most of us have alluded to, because Roman's bound to lose because of The Rock and not because of Seth. So for me, the night after Mania is always a big Monday Night Raw. I think Cody comes out, you get the triple, the pyro, whatever, it's Cody, right? So you're going to get the whole shebang. Seth's going to come out, and that's when you get the turn. He's going to pretty much bar for bar, chair to the back like he did Roman and like he did Moxley. And, and that's going to be the first part of him. He's going to be unhinged. He's going to be pissed off. He's going to be mad at the world. He's going to be mad at the bloodline. He's going to be mad. He's been mad at Cody on the low this whole time because he went 0 for 3 against Cody, and he never got to get another match after that because Cody came back and it was immediately focused back on Roman. So he's going to be, jealous of Cody, the fact that he's got the belt, the fact that he just lost the belt to Drew. And so he's going to be unhinged, almost Joker-like or Riddler-like, however you want to do it. And he's going to go back to the architect that's going to that conniving, deceiving, mind games, the whole nine. But the next part of my recipe is going to be also talking about what y'all just mentioned, which is that Money in the Bank briefcase. So my next part of the recipe is Seth saying he was the best to ever do it, and he's going to go get that briefcase. Now, with Seth with the briefcase, he's going to cause all kinds of mayhem because he's going to be threatening both champs by SummerSlam. And you're never going to know who he's going to cash it in on because he's going to be boisterous about he had the best cash in and this, that, and the other. And he's just going to cause all kinds of trouble for everybody involved because he's just going to be bouncing around on both shows with the, not in this, humorous way that they've been portraying the briefcase. It'll be in a legitimate way. And, he'll be coming out and it'll be another part of his outfit. And he'll be, maybe he can just wear green every night to match the briefcase. Like I said, like the Riddler or like the Joker or whatever. So for me, this would be the best way that he can get revenge on people, that it can legitimize the Money in the Bank again. And, it can be a way that he can be the foil to Cody because of he wants a rematch or he wants his shot against Cody because he helped him get there and all of that going into it. So that way for SummerSlam, he can, either cash in on the Drew Punk match with the briefcase then, and you get another classic cash in from Seth Rollins as the heel because he's sick and tired of being the third fiddle in all these other stories. And that's Chef's recipe.
You got some people in the chat that agree with you. You got Shine Bright that agrees. Samoa Washman agrees. PA Dub talking shit, saying, y'all say I be cooking random gumbo, laugh out loud, yeet. Now listen, I don't know if it's as random as you think. Bell God, because Gunther's too soon, so you need a viable heel. Who's a viable heel that has history? Seth freaking Rollins. It's time to put away the high fashion. It's time to go back to the architect. It's time to go back to blonde streak in the hair. It's time to go back the man that didn't sell out but bought in. It's time to go out to that Seth Rollins. Let's drop that freaking foolishness too. I'm so tired of that shit. I was pissed when they brought the email across my board at WWE. I was ready to kill somebody. I go, what you mean I gotta say it? Lord have mercy. What a company. But because if you notice, they always say it. It's so weird. But let's drop that. That's Seth Rollins. That's the architect. He's unhinged. He's unglued.
Also, you have the fact that there was that stare that he looked happy, and then there was the stare where you could see the architect coming through.
And very inconspicuous. Where was Seth? Where was Seth when Cody was getting beat up?
Exactly.
It's a great recipe. It's a great recipe. Can I sprinkle a little salt on it?
Go ahead.
All right.
I ain't gonna season up his shit.
No, just add a little. No, it's beautiful.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. He said yes. He's a chef. I asked him to be in the sous chef.
I'm gonna check it before I send it out. Anyway.
Yeah, you gotta check it before he can. What if he ruined the whole damn thing?
Since he's talking about winning the Money in the Bank and cashing in, he has to cash in on Punk, because how dare he ever in the WWE allow CM Punk to have a world championship? So as soon as CM Punk wins the world championship, you hit the Architect's music and boom, you take everything again from CM Punk. Just a little bit. If you don't want the salt, that's fine.
You could.
That's on my plate. On my plate. This is my plate.
But I think that's the point for Seth is he's intertwined with all these stories. So having the briefcase could be the biggest threat to everybody.
Yeah, I agree. But like I said, all this is contingent on Mr. Glass holding up.
That part. That's like he'll win shit anyway.
The wind blow the wrong way and that dude get hurt. Listen, shout out to Dub. Where was Jay? Was the real question. He tells Cody every week, I got you, Oos, and it's never seen when Cody gets jumped. DPJR sprinkling some Tabasco on.
little too much. It'll ruin it.
He's got to be on Punk, man. It's got to be on Punk. It can't be on Drew. It wouldn't make as much sense because if it ain't on, if it's not on Cody, it's got to be on Punk because you should hate those two the most.
No, I agree.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Oh, listen. Okay. All right. All right. Listen. I have teased this for a very long time. I can't stand y'all. Listen, the wait is over. We got people in the chat to chime in. We got people in the chat to contribute their services to this foolishness. I have teased the comic recasting with superstars across any wrestling promotion. I only chose a few. And I said, I know who somebody added the Punisher. That's dope. I like it. But listen, I only put a few because if I put them a lot, then it's gonna take the whole show. So I put a select few. I'm gonna start from the top. We're gonna go around the horn. We're gonna circle the wagons. We're gonna do the thing, and then we're gonna get the rationale. It's just something fun to entertain me while we get ready for WrestleMania. Look at my boy DP, got his notebook. I ain't worried about Chef. He gonna cook, so it's all good. What up?
Hey man, I got so many thoughts in this big ass head. I gotta write them down.
No, I was just gonna say the sad part is when you originally came up with this idea, we didn't have a lot to talk about, but they've been cooking in these promos and been pushing this subject back. We thought, this was gonna be like when the NFL is out of season.
Yeah, exactly right.
And you ain't got nothing to talk about.
That's exactly what it was for. You know what this is. This is the dead sports thing. But they've been doing so much stuff in the world of wrestling. They've been burying my little fodder. This was fodder. This was, Simone Watchman, you're gonna find out right now what this is. So listen, I got a group. I got the Punisher, Batman, Superman, Thanos, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, and Wolverine. I go around the horn. You guys get to make any wrestler in the world except the obvious ones and put them in your spot of who you would like to see play them if this was a cool little casting game and you had a magic wand. Shine Bright says he'll take Drew for Batman. He understands the game. But I'm going to start with Chef. Who is your Punisher and why? We don't got to make it long, but I want to know.
Off the top, with no hesitation, the Punisher for me will be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, damn. I didn't even think about Stone Cold for that.
He comes in. He's not fucking around with you, right? He might go a little too far.
Damn.
He's got motive. He's got a story. That's almost bar for bar. The Frank Castle story could be Stone Cold Steve Austin, flat out.
Damn, that's a tough one to top. DP, who is your Punisher?
Man, he went with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Damn.
So I guess I'll go with the light bright version. Man.
Shout out to Light
Dub. Ooh, B.A.
Dub. All right, here's Punisher Light. I guess I will go with John Moxley. You know what he does.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that works.
Austin, but it's a little more violent these days because we're in 2024 and he's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants to do in AEW. So I could go ahead and get jiggy with John Moxley as my Punisher.
That's a really good Punisher.
Yeah, so I'm going with John Moxley.
Damn. JMC, who would you pick as Punisher out of everyone in the history of professional wrestling?
Steve Austin's a great one.
Damn, that one's good.
I'm not. I would. The only reason I think of Steve Austin being so comedic and hilarious these days, just because we've gotten to know the real Austin from his podcast. So now my opinion on the way he actually is, if we're talking like 97, Steve Austin is like perfect. But I'm just gonna say, because I could really put this guy almost anywhere, but I'll use it now. I'm gonna put Dave Bautista because that's
who I was picked. That's who I picked.
Yeah. Austin, like 96, maybe even before, right before the Attitude Era, when he was talking about Bret, if you put the letter S before Hitman, you got my exact opinion of Bret Hart. That Steve Austin would rule. I didn't even think about that, but Dave Bautista, because he's one of the most nuanced actors, thespians, if you will, in WWE history, and wrestlers turned actors. Watched a knock at the Cabin in the Woods, whatever it was, the M. Night Shyamalan thing. I think he could pull it off. He's a little too beefy and big, but he plays real and grounded pretty well, although he's known for Drax. It's ironic. I'll go Dave Bautista, but Steve Austin, 96, 97 is great.
Yeah, Steve Austin's the right pick for sure for me. If I had to pick one out of all of ours, I have Batista as well. Nate had Brian Pillman. Dope.
Oh,
dope. Dub said Shinsuke. Oh, that's funky right there. That's funky. That's very funky. But listen, I love them all. I love them all. Let me go. So I'm going to Iron Man, and I'm gonna go first on this one. So for Iron Man, this one's gonna shock the world a little bit, but I like it. I got Maxwell Jacob Friedman as Tony Stark because of the personality, because of the cockiness, because of how he would portray Tony Stark in my movie. I would get that MJF version, put him in the Iron Man suit. Give me Maxwell Jacob Friedman as Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man. Brother. DPJ, where say you?
Man, I'm going when I originally went with. I'm going with The Rock. You know, The Rock reminds me of Iron Man. Billionaire playboy type of guy. He's so flashy. The way his character is in the WWE, especially in 2024, would be very optically pleasing to see him play that in the movie. And I would love to see that and what he's doing right now. Them Versace suits look like an Iron Man suit to me, Daddy. So that's where we at. I'm going with The Rock.
Yo, Chef.
Oh, this one is an easy one for me, just based on the attitude and the persona of Tony Stark. My pick. It took me 3 seconds to come up with Shawn Michaels based on his attitude. When he first became the Heartbreak Kid, that man's ego was too big.
Damn, that's a good one. Nate says Randy Orton as Iron Man. PA Dub says Evolution Triple H. Dub says HBK is Iron Man for me. He has the arc like Tony. He struggled with drugs like Tony struggled with alcohol in the comics. And early HBK is just the cockiness of Tony turned up to 11. Ooh, I like it. JMC, close it out, brother.
Evan, you and I have both of the same I have MJF, but I don't want to ride the fence. So I'm gonna go with a current iteration of Christian Cage to replace my MJF, but because I think MJF would be more whimsical and funny, where Christian would be a little more like dark and venomous. I almost had Christian Cage as like a Bruce Wayne too, but he's like a little more charismatic than brooding. But people forget about how good Christian Cage has been, and he can be hilarious and he can be whimsical with his charisma. But I think MJF would be awesome. All these picks are awesome. Like again, 96, 97, which is like a more underrated era than people remember. Like the original DX, that Shawn who's like out of control, like a young Tony would be pretty sweet. You could also do like a 2008 Jericho.
He could pull that off. But listen, we got some good one. The chat understands the game. Simone Washman, Ravishing Rick Rude, Ted DiBiase. Ooh, okay. Y'all see where my head's at right now. Shine bright. This ain't out the box. This is your choice. Carmelo Hayes for Iron Man. This is why this is a fun game. You can put anybody in that damn suit that you want. There's no restrictions. Moving on. I'm going Spider-Man right now. And I'm going to pick someone that no one's probably going to pick. I'm going in the Wayback Machine. Ladies and gentlemen that are in the chat, my esteemed panel, Mackey's going Hoovy Juice.
Ooh.
Juventud Guerrero as Spider-Man. Give me the Hoovy Juice. Give me the skill sets. Let me check the Disney box. Let me check the ethnic box. Make them happy. Make Sony happy as well. Nate says Ricochet as Spider-Man. I didn't want to go chalk, so let me go Hoovy Juice. Chef, what say you?
I was actually in that same lane. I'm going with the luchador GOAT. I mean, I'm going with the guy who was small but mighty for his size. I'm going with Rey.
Ooh, how can you argue Rey Mysterio Jr.?
I mean, he did the whole Spider-Man outfit.
Yeah, I can't do Leo Rush, P.A. He might quit halfway through the mission. I can't do that.
Halfway through it. Damn thought.
I can't do Leo Rush. He'll quit if he don't get his way. If he go to the Daily Bugle one day, he gonna quit the whole rest of the show. Yo, shout out to Samoa Watchman Taka Michinoku. Arigato gozaimasu. Keep going. We'll continue with P.O. say laugh. Yeah, you laugh because you know I'm right. Leo Rush will quit as soon as he get beat one time by Rhino.
That's hilarious right there, boy. You talking about it's too realistic. What?
Dub goes Eddie Guerrero on Spider-Man, a sense of humor. But Peter's quips.
Multiverse on y'all.
Yeah. Listen, I hear that's your dog, and I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. That dude be, the DB. Go ahead. What you got?
All right. So since y'all went to the Lucha route, I'm gonna go with the Venom version. I'm gonna go Psychosis and let it be known. Ooh. Psychosis out there, but I'm gonna go to the Japanese part of the world for my Spider-Man. I'm gonna go the Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon.
That boy was a monster. If not for Rey Mysterio, he might be my favorite person.
Ultimo Dragon is the
He's
truth.
A monster.
He's a
so
truth.
I'm going with him. Yes, sir.
Ultimo
if you
Dragon.
know, you know. If you don't, find out.
If you don't, go to YouTube. If you don't, hit up the YouTube. Shout out. Yeah, listen. What your boy say? Look at this. That's all you need to know right there. Six Damn. Retirements.
Damn.
He's not even that old.
I rest my case.
Damn.
JMC, who's your Spider-Man?
Although he's too damn good looking for his own good. He's got the spot that is most reminiscent of Spider-Man. I'm gonna go with John Morrison. You'd have to nerd him up a little bit.
That's a good one though.
As Evan and I know, the nicest human being in the world. Too nice. Maybe that's why he's not in WWE right now. But a great guy. Actually, a really good actor. Watch Boone the Bounty Hunter. It's like $3 on iTunes or whatever they call Apple movies now. Really good. Multiverse. Let's go Ricochet too. Why not? Yeah. Although Ricochet can't talk, guys. I'm so sorry. People last night were like, after that match with JD McDonough, which we didn't even talk about because who cares, honestly. Like, they're both incredible wrestlers. Like, why are they not pushing Ricochet? I'm like, guys, there's things called promos. They're 70% of the game, and I'm sorry. Everybody's a good wrestler now. It's a prerequisite. Why am I shitting on Ricochet? He did nothing wrong, but
you're the only one, brother.
You can't help it. Good. Sometimes it just comes out. You can't help it.
Trev, listen. I'm not responsible for anything these men say on this podcast. I'm not responsible.
He's so good. He's amazing. And maybe he's been held back. Oh wait, I had one more thought on Spider-Man.
Oh no.
Karrion Kross fucking sucks.
Come on.
I knew it. He took the thought right out my head.
I don't like that, Mr. Jameson. So John Morrison, Ricochet, fuck Karrion Kross.
Oh my God. Listen. Moving on to to Captain America. Chef Justin, what say you?
So for me, I'm thinking about, kind of the evolution, if you hear my words, the evolution of Steve Rogers going from, regular old guy, small guy to being a super soldier. So my super soldier is a guy who was already a physical specimen, and when he just came back recently, he looked like he got the super soldier serum. So my guy, the mighty Mississippi, Randy Orton.
Steady she goes. Steady as the mighty Mississippi, Randy Keith Orton, brother. DPJ, I always say you.
It's probably gonna sound like chalk, but I don't give a damn. How about that?
Chalk.
I'm going chalk. Captain America's Kurt Angle. It is what it is.
Can't argue this.
you know, I think of Captain America. I think, you hear me? Gold medals, whooping ass, American flags, all the above. Making you laugh, everything you could ask for in a Captain America. You suck. Yes. Absolutely. Before he popped perks, though, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, come on, man. What you doing on this podcast?
I'm just playing.
Man? Come on.
What is got? What is
got into this, man? Percocet, Molly Percocet. What? Come on.
Perk Angle was a real thing. Now,
I am sick. I am sick of everybody on this. Yeah,
personal friend of mine too, but he'll talk to you about it to your face and tell you to stay away from it. What a great guy.
Dub says John Cena as Captain America, Randy Orton is U.S. agent. Yeah, that's really dope, bro. U.S. agent, really smart, brother. Shine Bright, I would probably pick Randy as the Winter Soldier instead of Cap. Ooh, nasty.
Oh yeah.
Nasty. Somebody got Lex Luger on there. Ooh, the narcissist, brother. Oh my goodness! Listen, Kurt Angle was the repackaged Patriot. I'm with all that. JMC will say you.
What about like? Okay, so Cody's an obvious choice. Cena's an obvious choice, but there's Super Cena, so he's like an obvious choice for Superman. He doesn't have the coiffed hair that I want out of my Superman though. Cody's great, but I need a package deal for this. I need the Falcon as well. So give me Benjamin and Haas. Charlie Haas for my Captain America. And give me Shelton Benjamin as my Falcon.
Damn, I might steal the show right there, because you got the Falcon and Cap. That's cold-blooded right there, my brother. I'm going unconventional. I'm going a little weird. I'm going because we know what the serum can do. You don't got to be shredded. You ain't got to be ripped up. You give them that super soldier serum and they turn souped up. So you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for blue collar. I'm looking for intangibles. I'm looking for the heart. I'm looking for the man that's a common man, working hard with his hands, brother. I'm looking for the American dream, Dustin Rhodes. Because you hit him with the serum and he going to listen, I know he's a little thick, but he gonna get shredded up, and you know what I still got? Yeah, because my body a little too big. My stomach. Listen, but I want to see Captain America cut that hard time promo, daddy. Give me Super Serum Dusty Rhodes as my Captain America. I gotta go unconventional on this damn thing if we gonna do it. But that leads me to Wolverine. All-time great, all-time favorite. There's not a person in the world that doesn't like Wolverine. How the hell can you dislike Wolverine? I was thinking about going accurate with the height because he actually is bite-sized. But I was like, damn, nah, this is a fantasy booking. So let me go Triple H as Wolverine. Mm-hmm. Let me go Triple H as Wolverine, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the intense, the game, the cerebral assassin, the sledgehammer version. I'm talking about unsanctioned Shawn Michaels Triple H Wolverine. You see what I'm trying to say? That Wolverine right there, brother. JMC, what say you?
I wanted to go Randy Orton, but if we're going, just based on the way they could make him look. And speaking of somebody who looks enhanced lately, let's go. And I don't think he could pull off the acting chops, but let's just to make it different. Let's go with AJ Styles.
Oh, especially this version.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why you stay trying to put this dude in the conversation, Bell God. Why is this dude always trying to shoehorn redacted? Cheese and crackers.
Did he do it again?
Nate, it ain't happening, bro. It ain't. It's not
mentioning that guy either.
Not on this podcast. It's happened again.
Can't do it.
By the way, did anybody pick has anybody seen anything the Miz has acted in? Can he actually act?
No.
Okay, so he can't play Tony Stark or anybody. I mean, like not to say AJ. I'm sure AJ Styles can't act either, but
no.
It's kind of surprised no one said Miz for anything yet.
I got somebody for you. I'm going Brock Lesnar's Wolverine.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. He's the juggernaut though.
No,
He
that's
could be the
my
juggernaut.
hope.
I'm just talking about like fantasy booking, like for instance, like Wolverine. He can heal.
I always
real
give
quick
Ken
and all
Shamrock some love, but you know damn well
he can heal real quick. Like you throw all shit on top of Brock Lesnar, give it 5 minutes, he'll come back F5. Everybody in the damn ring. 1, 2, 3. It's over. That's some Wolverine shit for you.
Damn, I like it. Chef, did you didn't go to Chef? Did you?
No, I have not given you my Wolverine, and I'm actually
very curious.
Well, that's because I'm gonna go with tradition, and I'm gonna kind of stick to a little bit of storyline with Wolverine and his background with ninjas and messing around with the Lady Deathstrikes of the world and
Steve Blackman.
So my Wolverine, I'm gonna actually go with someone smaller and of the Japanese descent. I'm gonna go with my guy who you haven't off the wall, Tajiri.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the craziest one of the whole show.
Creative.
That's the crazy one of the show. It's creative though.
Very creative.
Shout out to Tajiri because when Tajiri was in his bag was
he
buzzsaw.
Shit out of people.
The Japanese buzzsaw was everything and that and more, brother.
In that big fist smack down there, he was over his shit.
Oh, Samoa Watchman, that's a good one. Haku, that's a strong one.
That ass, it was a wrap.
Shout out to Haku, Samoa Watchman. That's a good one too, brother. That's a real good one, brother. That's a real good one. Yeah, let me do one more. I gotta go with the Dark Knight. To end it because it's Batman. This one's gonna be interesting no matter what. I'm gonna go first. My Batman is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I need a Bruce Wayne and a Batman. You see what I'm saying? I need the way this dude's been dressing. I had a couple people I was going to choose, but this man has been dressing too damn good. He's been dressing very Bruce Wayne-ish. Then I throw the cape and cowl on him, and then I can have him run amok all over the place, protecting Gotham City. Give me Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Batman to end it out. JMC, who's your Batman?
I want to go with like a 2008 suit wearing Chris Jericho. But like he might be a little too goofy. I feel like there was a time, although I've soured on him a lot. I feel like there was a time where Adam Copeland could have done a good job. I don't know when, maybe the first iteration of the Rated R Superstar. Man, let's just go with like 2008 Chris Jericho. He looked pretty good in a suit. Jericho. I don't love that pick though, to be honest with you.
It's okay. I don't love the Rock one, but I like the mock up. I can see the mock up in my head of an artist did it right now, like a dope artist. He can make it look dope, and that's what I was. He could
play the dichotomy of the Playboy and like the Dark Knight, the duality. I think Rock could play that better. I don't feel like Jericho could actually pull it off, but could be wrong.
Chef.
So when I was thinking about Batman, and you kind of touched on it, about how he's the billionaire during the day and at night he's going taking care of business because the law can't handle it. But the biggest thing with Batman is he is the prep time guy. So with prep time, Batman can beat anybody, right?
Cheater, pumpkin eater. But go ahead.
Batman's got a plan for everybody. So for me,
we'll unpack that a different day. That's bullshit, but we'll talk about that a different day.
When I think about Batman and prep time and he's got a plan for everybody, Batman for me is evolution Triple H. Because
evolution is a
mystery.
He's the cerebral assassin. He's got a plan for everybody. For me, it just lines up and just makes sense that that's the guy who's, got a plan for everybody.
Hard to argue. Dub said Undertaker could work. I'm never going to deny Undertaker ever. DPJR, finish it off, brother.
You were talking about him earlier, but I'm going to bring him back up. But I'm a little bit of foreshadowing. The young man, he comes from money, similar to Bruce Wayne.
Uh-oh.
He's a phenomenal fashionista. He loves to wear a scarf. Burberry, if you will.
Uh-oh.
And he has a plan for everybody. I mean, it didn't work with Samoa Joe, but other than that, he has a plan for everybody. And he's not the hero you wanted, but he's the hero you needed in AEW. He's carrying that damn wrestling company on his back. His name is Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and we call him MJF. That's my Batman.
If he's better than you and you know it, Dub said, oh, Shane on Mack. I like that one. Here comes the money.
Oh, I like that one.
Just don't ask him to do no leapfrogs. No leapfrogs in Gotham.
Oh.
That's it.
Don't even ask him to turn around.
Yo, Dub said if we're talking prep time, then Hulk Hogan is Batman since he always got the finish change whenever he was going to lose. Oh, that's bars right there. Dub. That's bars. I'm still mad he went over Shawn in SummerSlam. I'll never get over it. I will never get over him going over Shawn Michaels in SummerSlam to the day I die. Thank you,
and
everybody.
Randy Orton at the next SummerSlam.
Oh, anyone, listen. Shout out to everybody participating. Y'all got the game. I was just having a little bit of fun. My fellas came through in the clutch as per usual. But
18 weeks in the making, brother.
Yo, shut the hell. I knew I was going to get to this shit. I knew it was going to be dope, too. Y'all killed it. Listen. Before we get to the final, which is ECW Mount Rushmore, I gotta take y'all on the night of the opera with DPJR, brother.
Yes. Welcome in. You know, lovely night at the opera. And sometimes when you come to the opera, we like to talk about the negativity, but I want to talk about something that I absolutely love.
Ooh.
Some people call him the Scottish psychopath. Some people call him the Scottish warrior. He calls himself DM Hunk, and I'm going to roll with that. So, has there been anything more entertaining over the last 4.5 months than Drew McIntyre in professional wrestling? Now, I'm going to take y'all back to last year. Do you remember how irrelevant he was after WrestleMania last year? He was hurt. He was floundering as a babyface. People were forgetting about Drew McIntyre. He was getting his ass handed to him by Gunther. That seems like such a distant memory.
Wow.
Such a distant memory from the gentleman that he is now. Nobody wants to step into the ring and cut a promo with this man. You got CM Punk resorting to name calling, talking about somebody you can't even name. His name is 5 letters. I could say his name. His name is Vince, okay? He was trying to get him to say that. He didn't. And that big smile on his face. The dude is better on social media than almost any wrestler is with a microphone in his hands, destroying anybody and everybody who comes in front of him. He doesn't care. Anybody's fair game. And to see what he's become as a heel, people said he couldn't do it. People didn't want to listen to him on the microphone. You can't get enough of Drew McIntyre. Anytime you see him, pulls up to Chicago. Most entertaining thing I seen on Twitter all day yesterday was him going to Mindy's Bakery and then being closed, and he shows his shirt DM. Come on now. He's something special. He's amazing. And we should take the time and appreciate and give him a 2, 3, 4 bouquets of roses and appreciate, because sometimes people take what they're given to them and they don't make shit out of it. He took what he was given and he ran with that shit. And guess what happened? He turned around and took the world championship spot from CM Punk. Literally took that shit, and he's going to be the world champion. That's what's going to happen. And that's what you can do, wrestlers, anybody in the world. Hell, bankers, doesn't matter. Take what you can get and run with it, because that's what he did. And I'll be damned if he ain't hit a grand slam to win the game.
Well said, brother. Your best one yet. I know you only done 2 of them, but this is by far your best one. Have you ever been to an opera? You can get hit with some drama. Every now and again, there's some uplifting parts in this opera. But let me tell you something. Everything you said was correct. I think he's been doing so good to the real point. If CM Punk would have held up, I think he would have forced himself into a triple threat, like for real. Like, I know they probably had it one-on-one with him and Seth, but I think Drew McIntyre he'd have talked himself into a triple threat match. That's how good he's been. So I don't want people to discredit. I don't want people to discredit because CM Punk got hurt and he's some kind of backup. I think he really showed that he can carry a program. And it's been fantastic to see. Nate agrees with you. Samoan's with you. Disney's with you.
Right on,
Dubs with you. Shine Bright with you. Everybody and their mamas with you.
I'm talking about daddy.
Shout out to Drew McIntyre. We sing his praises all the time. So much so that even Chef has already resigned himself to the fact that he's going to take the L in Philly. He just says probably going to happen, and he's cool with it. That's a testament to what this man's been doing, to the point that Chef understands as far as from this is what I'm talking about as far as like real wrestling fans, and I consider him a real wrestling fan. Real wrestling fans can understand when something is best for business as opposed to what they like. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I get, you know what I'm saying? Like if Drew McIntyre is best for business even over the greatness of Seth Rollins at this moment in time. But you already gave the recipe earlier in the show about how we can get the Seth Rollins back to even get into the title picture with the snap of his fingers. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing to see. Disney says Drew isn't anyone's backup, and his BS that Punk brings the best out of him. He does it on his own. Yeah, listen, he's fine. Yeah, something he turned. It don't. He turned the corner. He turned the corner. It ain't like he wasn't even running a good race. He just turned the corner and hit the nitrous oxide. For real. Like a la, what's it called? A la Vin Diesel, the first time Paul Walker pulled up on him. You know what I mean? Everybody else hitting the NOS too early. You know what I'm saying? He hitting the NOS right on time. But that leads me to the moment that we going to end the show on, and that is Extreme Championship Wrestling Mount Rushmore, because WrestleMania is in the city of brotherly love. Even though there's a bunch of haters in my home state, I hate that nickname. We don't deserve it. But that's what it is. ECW Mount Rushmore, no honorable mentions. You get 4 people to chisel out in stone. I do accept tag teams because that counts. Tag teams count. Let's be real. You could take them. So I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna go one by one. I'm gonna have everyone rattle off their 4, and then we'll unpack all their 4. That's what we're gonna do. There's no order in Mount Rushmore. Nobody give a damn when the sculptor's sculpting. So Mackie got this. Mackie got the Dudley Boys.
Wait, what's your criteria? Are you going by what you like, what meant the most to you, or you think best for the company, or what?
It's Mount Rush. It's your Mount Rushmore. Your Mount Rushmore could be your whatever your criteria is, whatever the greatest is. Because I don't think the 4 people chiseled in Mount Rushmore are the 4 greatest presidents.
No, but not at all. So what did you base it on, though? I need everybody to say what they based it on for theirs.
Mine's always very simple. It's impact. It's impact. It's certain matches. It is character. It's things like that. ECW is a little bit different. I can't go promos. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Not really. Let's be real. Because when I rattle off these 4, you're gonna be like, okay, no. But listen, Dudley Boys, Public Enemy, Rob Van Dam, and Taz. That's who's on my Mount Rushmore of Extreme Championship Wrestling. That's me. Disney says RVD, Raven, Dreamer, Sandman. Nate says Sabu, RVD, Sandman, Terry Funk. That's where we're going right now. That's how we got so far. DPJR, what say you? And we're gonna unpack all of ours.
Man, it's that last day. All right, RVD, Taz, Dudley's. Terry Funk. I gotta go Terry Funk over Dreamer. It was between those 2, but I gotta go Terry Funk because Terry Funk. No, we'll unpack it. Go ahead, Chef.
So my 4 was the Dudleys, Sabu, RVD, and I'm gonna say somebody y'all haven't said. My guy Raven.
Ooh, shout out to Raven. Shout out to Raven making noise.
In the list.
Raven was a beast.
Consideration.
Listen, Dub, Sabu, RVD, Terry, and somebody might like the last pick, but I'm saying Raven. I go, no. Listen, put some respect on Raven.
Raven was a badass, man.
Raven was a badass.
That, man. That dude was a monster, man. Just because he didn't get over to the point in WCW and WWF like he did in ECW doesn't matter. That dude was a stone cold killer and did what he needed to do in ECW.
It was just different for me. Like I had never seen a dude do that as a character. So that just
what him and Dreamer did. They elevated each other. You can't have a good guy without a bad guy. He was the perfect foil for Dreamer. I mean, it's a beautiful pick. I mean, he has to be in consideration.
That's what I like about this. This is why I like that I have 4 people on here. This is why I like there's no right or wrong about a Mount Rushmore. Because this is what's the fun part is. Everyone thinks there is, but there's not. All of ours is funky and different and insane. Dub says Chef's been cooking tonight. Chef cooks every night. Dub
every night.
Week.
I'm here every Tuesday.
Perry, pull up every week. You go get that cooking every week. Come on, Dub. But listen, and you know what I mean. Nate says balls, New Jack, Jerry Lynn, and Kid Cash is
Ooh, that
another
was straight
one.
completely different. Love it though.
This is what I like about this. Everybody in the chat chiming in. Everyone listening to the sound of my voice chime in. Who's your Mount Rushmore? ECW. Raven, one of my favorites because he's such a badass, but a lot of dudes try to discredit bro. That's why I said some might not like the pick. Well, they can all kick rocks dubbed up because Raven is an awesome pick of the list. And when Jay was asking me what the criteria is, I can't do criteria like I would do criteria for regular wrestling because Extreme Championship Wrestling was the real upstart company, the real alternative. I know everyone thinks it's AEW, but that's not. I never consider AEW an alternative. AEW is trying to compete. ECW was the real alternative, though. It was unparalleled for what it was. It was. Absolutely. It was just. I don't believe you get the indie shows you get without ECW.
You don't get the Attitude Era without ECW.
I work. So what I'm trying to say is my criteria. It was just who gave me the most, who I had the most fun with. It's different for me. You know what I mean? Public Enemy. First of all, I put them on the list not just because I like what they did. Is they Philly boys. They homegrown. Them boys are Philly, the jerseys. That's the stuff we used to rock when I was growing up. That you know what I mean? I'm East Coast, I'm Pennsylvania. They rock what we rocked when we was going to school. Like they resonated. You know what I'm saying? So Public Enemy's on my list. The Dudleys are the Dudleys, man. Are you serious? Devon and Bubba, are you serious? That's one of the greatest tag teams ever. Damn a ECW. Them boys is, you put them on any metric, them boys was special. It wasn't about race. It wasn't about nothing but two dudes beating the brakes off you. So when it comes to the Mount Rushmore, it comes to my criteria, Jay was asking, it's the people that I enjoyed the most. Dub says Rhino is another great pick. Shout out to Rhino. Shout out to Rhino with the gore. Taz with that Taz mission coming with the towel on his head. That's why he's on my list.
Damn right.
But listen, y'all take it anywhere y'all want to take it, fellas. There's no rhyme or reason right now. Just tell me some of your rationale for some of the picks, man, and take it away.
I mean, like ECW, I mean, it is what it is what you make of it. I just put 4 names that you couldn't tell the story of ECW without. You can't tell the story of ECW without RVD. I mean, he's arguably had the most innovative style. ECW lifer, world champ, TV champ, doesn't matter. Didn't matter if he was baby, didn't matter if he was heel. Taz, you said it himself that dude was a monster. You lock that Taz mission on you, it's a wrap. He made wrestling real. It mattered to him. He didn't give a fuck who you were.
Made his own title. And
he had arguably the greatest rivalry in ECW with Sabu. One of the greatest rivalries in professional wrestling.
No question.
So people need to know what the fuck they talking about. You said Dudleys, it's the Dudleys. I mean, if you don't know about the Dudleys, it's, in my opinion, the greatest tag team in professional wrestling history. That's adding them all together. They got the most titles.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you felt that way.
That's how I feel. They got the most titles wherever they went. They were champions wherever they went. I mean, you could say they're at least on your mouth, anybody's mouth.
But I didn't know that's how you felt.
Not WWE. I said all of it. Added all up together. All of it. Not WWE or F or WCW. Added all up and then subtracted. You can't argue with it. I mean, you can, but it is what it is. And then I went with Terry Funk because without Terry Funk, that company would not have been what it was because he gave them the cachet to be what they were. There's certain je ne sais quoi, there's certain believability. He brought that hardcore shit, that death match shit, and he was amazing. And if you don't fuck with Terry Funk, I can't really fuck with you like that because you need to know who Terry Funk was and what he represented. So that's my reasoning for the ECW Mount Rushmore.
Chef.
Shout out to Terry Funk because I was just watching Roadhouse. I forgot he was in that.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is, baby.
Shout out to Patrick Swayze and Roadhouse. Not that new one. We ain't gonna watch that one.
Wait, what?
Oh, you ain't watched that?
No, I ain't. No.
There will be no Jake Gyllenhaal slander on this podcast. You can just move on. I will not let anybody do it. keep it moving before I make my trip to Cleveland.
How you doing?
Before I'll get to Cleveland. We have a SummerSlam before a SummerSlam. Don't be slandering Jilly. Go. I swear to God, Chef.
I mean, everything you guys are saying is on point as far as ECW. For me, all the people that we've mentioned and the people on my list, it was just the moments. Like,
yeah,
my first experience watching ECW was like local broadcast television late at night, up late channel flipping, and it'd be on, some local Cleveland channel, whether it was, just a random channel that, you're flipping between, watching like music videos on the box or whatever, channels you can get with your antenna because you ain't got cable. So that was like experiencing that. It was just different, man. Like the violence, the stuff Sabu was doing, the stuff, RVD's jumping off of everybody or jumping onto everybody from everything, and just the people we didn't mention. So Dreamer's violence, Sandman's violence. Never seen somebody drinking the beer and
smashing on his head,
right? And just Taz with the suplexes, the Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow moment where they went through the ring. Just so many different things for me. It just, I didn't know that could be wrestling too. Like, growing up and watching WWF Superstars, and then you turn the channel, you see this, and you're like, whoa, this is way different.
Paul Heyman's brainchild, and it gave Dusty Rhodes the opportunity to make a living too. So I mean,
gave him an opportunity when nobody was giving him opportunity.
Nobody else would.
Gave him an opportunity when he was broke without a pot to piss in. And this is what I'm saying. Well, I could talk about Heyman all day, but this was a moment, great idea to give flowers to Extreme Championship Wrestling this close to WrestleMania 40 in his birthplace of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And our rationale, Jay, to your point, as you join us, everybody went through this. The criteria for us is pretty much just moments and what we loved about it. I can't go by wrestling. I can't go by technical ability. I can't go by promos. With ECW, you got to go by moments. You got to go by these wrestlers that you feel define it. DPJR said it best. You got to go by, can you write the history without them? There's a reason why I believe Barry Bonds and Charlie Hustle should be in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. You can't write the history of baseball without the man that got the most hits.
And the man that got the most dingers.
You get to the Hall of Fame with 3,000. Charlie Hustle got 4,100, but that's neither here nor there.
Barry Bonds was the only baseball player that hit 500 home runs and had 500 steals. Come on,
listen. Let me tell you something. So
Gold gloves too.
If you can't write the history, listen. He was a Hall of Famer before he even did the PEDs allegedly. So he was as a Pirate, but you get what I'm trying to say. You can't write the history of ECW without certain people, in our opinion. To me, that's the criteria, Jay. So, who is your Mount Rushmore of Extreme Championship?
Yeah.
Pissed I missed it, but I love watching the show back. That's why it's so cool that Evan presents it live, and then it's right available for a replay and then the audio version. But so I'll get to there's a lot of redundancy probably. We all kind of think in similar ways, but for me, I just went by. I didn't even necessarily go by what I like the best, but I had to let my personal thoughts go a little bit. But yeah, like you said, if you can't write the history without it, so somebody who changed the most during a time when it started to be cool to boo bad guys. These guys were so hated, and there was many of them, but there's two that stand out. I got to go with the Dudley Boys at number 4. Just changed the game of tag team wrestling. Getting table, chanting for tables. Some people say that's bad for business, but they made that the thing. Bubba Ray was a heat magnet, getting the most smarkiest of the smarkiest fans to literally despise him. So him. Dudley Boys, number 4. I didn't include Terry Funk, and I didn't include a lot of guys like Stone Cold came through there, and like Mick Foley came through there, and a lot of guys were there. They weren't there long enough to be part of like the original team that really built it up. But like obviously Terry Funk,
like he's known for other things in Texas. So forgive me for that. At number 3, I went with well, I kind of have a toss up and I hate doing that, but I'm going to go with Raven because he was the first guy that I can remember. It's almost like people talk about Jake the Snake and Raven didn't have to yell to be interesting.
Raven was dope, man.
Raven, just the dark, brooding character that also had like started to get into really complex characters. He's also like a whiny, entitled rich kid that wants to be emo and could get more out of a DDT than guys who jumped off of scaffolding just because he started to use his mind. Loved me some Raven. Scott Levy, very underrated talent. Got into a lot of drugs and nefarious things in his day. Number two for me is a personal thing, and he also is just one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Made me want to, another guy who didn't have to yell, didn't even have to say a lot, but when he did talk, it meant something. It was hilarious. It was funny. Is Evan knows the affinity I had for Rob Van Dam. Even in his WWE run where he was watered down, it's like, yeah, they do it 235 nights a year, guys. He'll die. One bad injury, the greatest TV title run of all time, never held a world championship until they did One Night Stand. But his impact, never was a world champion in ECW. But his impact, his matches with Jerry Lynn, I'll never forget his match with Bam Bam Bigelow jumping into the audience. And he could also work. A lot of people think Rob Van Dam is like undersized, but he's 6'1".
He's bigger than you think.
Nick is a great shit house.
Yeah, and to this day, Rob, it's okay to go home. You don't have to wrestle anymore with Hook and with Matt Riddle. You've proved yourself time and time again, but you were the shit. And if anyone doesn't have Paul Heyman at number 1, it's a disservice to this whole list. But Paul Heyman for things that WWE, and people don't realize this too. People are like, oh, the Attitude Era was stolen from ECW. Yeah, a lot of it was inspired by that, but Vince was paying the payroll for ECW for a long time that people have no idea about. And so it's not that he shit on indie wrestling. He kept it alive. Why do you think Paul Heyman, who he got his shots in at Vince and shot on him over the years, brother, and he did some really scathing promos, but Paul Heyman knew the McMahon family for so long, his roots in the business. That bloodline shit is real, which is awesome. It's like since the 70s. I will say, other than Vince McMahon, the greatest mind in wrestling history, maybe even better than Vince McMahon, because Vince has a lot of misses, but he has a lot of hits. Paul is just a force of creative energy that never stops. A man who has no physique whatsoever, an unattractive guy by his own admission, and just became one of the most compelling characters in wrestling, and never set foot in a ring, didn't have to get any wacky angles, and just used his cerebral, God-given creativity and evolved better than any wrestling personality or wrestling mind that I've ever seen. Was ahead of his time, is still current to this day, and could probably go blow for blow with anyone on an intellectual level. So Paul Heyman number 1, RVD number 2, Raven. Tempted to add Taz and the Sandman because like they inspired a lot of people, and then only 4. So and then the Dudley Boys, but just a really, really cool time. And people often remember nostalgic things, and it wasn't quite as good as you thought. It's hard to leave Tommy Dreamer off too for how much he meant. And I know Tommy personally, and he still talks about ECW like it's the best moments of his life to this day.
Good.
Yeah. So I mean, really, really cool and really inspiring stuff that we'll probably never see again. But its impact will be felt through the annals of wrestling history forever.
ECW, well said on all counts, fellas. Really great stuff. I'm gonna see if I can, somehow crop this out and edit this. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, sorry guys, we had a power outage. I'm on my phone on data right now, so I don't know if I'm lagging, but
no, you're good.
You're great.
Shout out to Samoa. Shout out to the wise
because we ain't have Paul Heyman, but hey,
no. This is why there's 4 of us. I don't have to have Paul Heyman. He had it. He took care of it. I knew one of us would take care of it.
Man, I don't care about your damn list if you ain't got Paul Heyman. I said, yikes.
I didn't know. I thought about maybe he's exempt from the list because he wasn't in ring talent.
He kind of is. But
He probably should be.
But not really. Like I said, there's no rules. Dub,
Right.
do you guys think New Jack qualifies even though he's very polarizing figure? Of course he qualifies.
Of course he
Dub.
does.
Of course. He's synonymous with EC Dub. Samoa said, shout out to the wise man. Nate said Al Snow was good with the yeah, man. Yeah, we gotta
Stevie
come on
Richards.
now. Yeah, we gotta come on now. Yo, Steve, yeah, give Steve Richards his flowers. Listen, this is the thing. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many times and moments in wrestlers that impacted and had moments within that company that you have to give credit, get credit where credit's due. And like I said, I'll say it before and I'll say it again. There's one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. Those one night stands are insane. They're insane.
Amazing.
They're
That
insane.
one night stand was amazing.
You know who could be number
Don't get
one.
me started on JBL, boy. Don't get
Go
me
ahead,
started.
go ahead, Al. Go ahead,
I see a lot of men out here. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. I interviewed him. Listen, and this is when he is firmly planted within WWE. So I'm telling you, like, I was barely there. I was there what 2 years and like a month. But they indoctrinate you so fast, like they brainwash you so fast. The things not to say. I'm not joking like that. We're all trained. I swear to God, we're trained to not say stuff. So I'm like interviewing JBL, like after I left on the old show, and I'm trying to like get to that moment without saying it. I swear to you can look this thing up, right? And like JBL's like on the camera like this, and he knows what I'm doing. And he says something like, It was a different time. It was a fun night. It was a fun night. He's trying to. He knows the part I'm talking about, man. But we can't. But we both can't say anything. I'm like, come on. I wanted him to say it so bad. He's like, we're in the modern times. I go, I don't care, man. It's the way he said it. It's the way he said it and why he said it, and the crowd was like, "Man, fuck this dude." It was,
Man,
He's is it distasteful? Obviously, but he's playing a character. Like go watch Django, and like there's some things that even offend me. Not even offend, just like I don't find it tasteful. But like Evan, there's a segment of JBL border tossing immigrants at night.
That's what
yes. This dude, listen. You guys know what I'm. It's the way he says it because it was impromptu. They were trying to throw him off his game, and he's such a pro. He's like, I see a lot of men. Yo, I'm watching this. I'm watching that after I get up here. It's the greatest shit.
Boy, straight to you.
Evan, I watched that interview so many times with
I see a lot of men out there.
he was so he makes you think he's actually that guy. He's like a racist, rich, like
he's sweet as pumpkin pie, man. I swear to God.
He is. And his best friend is Ron Simmons. Come on, guys.
I mean, he's sweet as pumpkin pie. He's like, as soon as he gets off, he's like, all right, guys, thank you so much, man. Pleasure to be here. And he like signs off. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. That's craft, y'all.
After this, if you remember, Evan, I don't know if I was at your apartment when you did it. I forget, but he thought it was like off air, but he was like, I like those guys. They're good guys.
Yeah, he did. I tried to get him to do it, but he wouldn't do it. But anyway, listen. Appreciate y'all for joining and doing this with me. The chat y'all were awesome as usual, giving your thoughts on EC Dub. Yeah, I got some one night stand to watch after I get up over here. But
yeah,
I'm gonna YouTube that one moment. I swear to God I am. But listen, final thoughts, DVJ.
I see a lot of men out there. We killed it as always. I love doing the show with my brothers. You know where to follow your boy at now. THE_DPJR on all the platforms. Come holler at your boy. You know, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tune in to us. We got the best thing smoking in the game.
Yo, Nate, ready for Stand and Deliver? Me, not so much, Nate. The match with Mr. Hayes and Mr. Williams will steal the show. It will be everything as advertised. It will be a classic. It will be phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to that for sure, but not the whole show, brother.
No.
But that match is going to be, that's worth it all, you know. And like I said, Peacock, nice and cheap for your boy to get them PLEs, brother.
Way easier to find in AEW too.
Listen, neither, bro. Listen, Dub, who do you guys think could be considered on the Mount Rushmore for WWE ECW Revival if we made a list specifically with those guys? Great question. We will not forget that. We will come back to that. I can assure you. Hold that thought, Dub. JMC, final thoughts.
I don't ever want this show to become the cantankerous show where we complain so much about wrestling. There's a billion podcasts that everyone thinks they need to have where they do that. Rarely do we actually do that. So if you're new to the show or you come here from Evan's Mercedes interview, or thank you, first of all, we usually keep it positive and we just want it to be better. Wrestling is I can say this about Triple H and this regime. In their mind, they're making great strides and they think they're doing what's best for business. And they're whether it's Rock's ego or what, they're trying to do new things and create new ideas. We asked for that for a while. We're getting that. I'm on a personal journey of redemption. I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of the ride for WrestleMania. We're going to give our opinions and be honest like we always are, but I'm going to try to be less acerbic or venomous about it and try to enjoy Mania, because the show itself, 9 times out of 10 is going to be phenomenal. They rarely miss WrestleMania. This is the first one that Vince McMahon's presence, whether you love him or hate him or whatever, is definitely felt, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
We'll see, but it's the showcase of the Immortals. Let's hope they course correct a little bit. But I can say that it's not for lack of trying. So if you're new to this show, we are not the negative Nancys. But
next week, of course, will be the predictions, of course. The picks. Mm-hmm. It's going to take up a lot of the show since there's 17 nights. Turning this into
doing top 5 next week.
Turn this into a damn Comic-Con.
It might be it might just be predictions, but I'll leave you guys.
It's going to be 4 nights, but go ahead, man.
Yeah, the last thing I got to say is just it's going to be WrestleMania. It's going to be enjoyable. The weekend itself, the pageantry is going to be phenomenal. The production value is insane. They're the best in the world. But I'll drop one early, and this is not a prediction. It's a spoiler. At WrestleMania, Karrion Kross will still fucking suck, brother.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I want y'all to understand, before I kick this to the chef, I want y'all to understand something here. Did y'all hear this man go on a heartfelt monologue about how we're not venomous? Did you hear this man go on a deep journey? Did you hear this man take us on an emotional journey and tell everybody that listens to this podcast that we are the sweet podcast that just breaks things down? Did you hear how he ended the monologue? He hates Karrion Kross, brother. Yo, Chef, what say you?
I mean, I don't really know how to follow that other than, thank you to everyone who's watching this live stream, and thank you to everyone who's tuning into the podcast. Thank you to everyone who's liked and subscribed and checking out the YouTube videos that Mr. Evan Mack is putting out. Wonderful content out here for Evan Mack's world. Check me out. Jeff Justin on all the socials. We're out here doing things. We're moving. We're growing. We are critical, but we have fun. We do. We will slander some people when they deserve it. We will. But we will highlight the fact that we love wrestling and wrestling is great.
Yo, Dub said at Mania, Karrion Kross will win all the titles and steal Damien's Money in the Bank.
And still fucking suck.
Yo,
that's what he told me.
Not that I would request him from greatness. My man that hooks me up with the interviews, Mr. Domino. Not that I would ask him to get Karrion Kross on here, but he would never come on this podcast.
Not now.
Oh no, he's not welcome here.
He would never come. Yo, Mr. Domino would never bring him on. But listen, at the end of the day, when will you get good?
He won't ever.
When will you get good?
Who fucking sucks now?
Yo, listen, look,
shit like that, boy.
Yo, Samoan. Show's over right now. I'm probably gonna cut it after that, but we still talking. Yo, hit me, Samoan. What you talking about? And Nate, you can always holler at me, man. What's really good? Show's over.
Nate, Evan, unlike a lot of hosts, actually responds even when he rubs elbows with like big names in the industry. He doesn't get taken with himself. So if you hit him up on Instagram, he'll respond in like 10 minutes.
That's how I
That's
got
kinda
here.
how this show happened.
That's how we got here.
Can I
That's how it
ask?
happened.
Can I get a? So the show's over, but Samoa Watchman has a request. Jay, he says, "Can I get a carrying cross? Fucking sucks." He's asking for one. So if he's asking for one, you have to be if you have to be a man of the people.
I want to be a man of the people, but I did just say that I wouldn't be negative, and I've spent so much time in a negative place lately. I didn't do yoga today. With that said, carrying cross, brother. If you want to cross the greatest panel of all time, brother, let me tell you something, brother. Carrying cross fucking sucks, brother. Daddy Jack, dude. Carrying cross fucking sucks.
Let me tell you something, Jack.
You know what's crazy? Hold on. You know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy? On a serious note, there's been people in this chat. People come, people go. I like when people show up. Either some people are voyeurs, some people talk, some people interact. You know what I've noticed? Seriously, it's been like 3 weeks since you've been doing this. Not one person has backed it. Has not said. Not one person's disagreed. Not one.
They're not even like he's all right.
You're getting it requested now.
But I'm like, but not one. Think about that. Not one person.
That's wild because there's people who like really shitty wrestlers too, and
I'm getting people trying to bring Redacted on the show, but they won't back him up. Think about that. And look at Samoa. You appeased my tribal chief, Samoa Watchman.
Who am I to not acquiesce to the original tribal chief?
Our tribal chief on this damn show.
On this podcast, there's only one tribal chief. It is the Samoa Watchman. Listen, until Joseph Anawai pulls up on this damn thing, you know what I mean? But listen, we out. The show is over. This was bonus content. Y'all are amazing, man. Appreciate y'all as always, for real. Pull up next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're doing the WrestleMania prediction. They should have the card all sorted. Oh, Bianca don't got a match, do she?
Nope.
They should have followed my recipe.
It looks like they are following your recipe.
They got one more day.
Hey, Jade pulling up.
Jade pulling up.
And she gonna get her ass whooped on Friday.
Oh, wait a minute. Really quickly. You don't think she's ready yet? I don't think she is. You don't think she's ready yet? You don't think they make that match Friday, do you?
Why do you bring her up, brother?
With no build? Okay, no.
Foolish. But it doesn't mean they wouldn't do that. That all you guys would say that's what Vince would have done, but if Triple H does it, they'll be like,
"Oh, Triple H, you're the greatest of all time,
greatest booker of all time, Daddy."
I can't believe you, Wrestle Observer of the Year, Booker of the Year, Triple H, yeah. Kiss my ass.
Damn, look at
Samoa
this.
and Karrion Kross would fuck up the catering too. Chef or nobody for catering champ.
Fuck it all up.
Hey, he can't even serve the bread that's already cut.
Oh my God.
And with that
Translation: Karrion Kross fucking sucks, daddy.
Yeah, daddy.